Hello. Hello everyone. My name is Mang John and we are back at My Stories again. Today, I'm going to share with you some tips about how to develop long-lasting relationships with people around us or like friendships because we have so many friends these days, but some of them are just Facebook friends that we add and we didn't even know anything about them. So, why do we have so many friends yet we don't still feel satisfied and we don't feel happy like ever before? What is the secret of developing a long lasting friendship that we can have with people around us? If you just arrived, please share with me where you are from. And also, if you can hear my voice properly, you can type +1 so I know if the voice is audible. And if you feel that this live is going to be useful for your friends or for people that you care about, you can also share this video. You can click like the video and share this video with people around you. So, welcome for those who just arrived. Today, the topic will be how to develop our long-lasting relationship or friendship. But mainly today, I'm going to talk about friendships, not particularly a relationship between a man and a woman, just general friendship. Okay, so how to develop a long-lasting relationship or friendship. All right, so this is going to be our topic today. And if you have any questions, you can also share your questions by typing them in the box, and our staff will bring the questions to me so I know what questions you possibly have, and I can answer them at the end of our live. If you have any suggestions about any topic that we should cover, maybe next time, you can also suggest at the comment box as well, because we have and I also read the comments, maybe not all of them during the live, but after the live I will read all the comments as well. So the topic today is how to develop a long-lasting friendship or relationship with anyone. Okay, so let's take a look at the topic that we talk about today. I think everyone needs friends, right? And this is very important because we're human beings. We can't live without friends. We can't live without people. Without friends, we are just alone. And we can't even be friends to ourselves sometimes. So we have a feeling like, okay, we want to talk to someone. Even in like a film, I think if you ever watch a film called Castaway, for example, the protagonist, and I think almost only one person in the film, Tom Hanks, right? He even needed to make a volleyball, and then he named the volleyball Wilson, so that he had someone to talk to. So this is very, very important because we human beings, we need to have some friends. We need to have someone to talk to. We need to have someone who we can ask for help when we are in trouble, and we need a role model. This is a little challenge because these days the concept of social network is changing our behavior, and it's not the same as before anymore. I think many years ago we still have a concept of pen friends, that people can write letters to each other, and this letter will take days or weeks for this to arrive. But these days it's not the same anymore, because we can send information, and this can happen maybe just an eye blink, then we already send information to others. And these days the relationship with people around us is changing. We have so many friends on Facebook, we have so many friends online, but very few of them that we talk regularly. So after maybe 10 years from now, what will the society become? Is this going to be something that we can take from now on, or is this going to be completely changing again? Who knows, right? But what we cannot deny is throughout our life, we also need to make sure that we develop a secure and quality relationship with someone. According to a research conducted by Harvard School, Harvard Study for Human Development, they study human for 75 years, and during these 25 years they ask people what is really meaningful to their life. Is that money? Is that because is that success or anything else? And after 75 years of study, they found that one thing that people care the most is they developed a quality relationship with someone. So we can't deny the fact that eventually we have a feeling deep down inside our heart that our life is meant for something. This something could be your purpose of life, and this something at the same time could also be someone's as well. As a result, we need to maybe take a look at the concept of friendship and how can we develop that long and secure relationship with our friends. Okay. All right. So we have Evelyn from China, right? But I think she's now in Oslo, and Sungung from Gambia. We have Debbie from Australia, and Ricky, I'm not sure where you're from, and Nari from Cambodia. So we're going to wait a bit for people to arrive more, and then we will continue with the topic. Okay, so I'm going to draw this picture. This is you. This is you. And okay, I'm going to change the color, and these are your friends. Right? So this is you, and these are your friends. So what happens is that we have connection with people around us. We have connection like this. We have connection like this. And this connection usually happen in the past that we live together. Live together like this. In the past, I mean like 20, 30 years ago, when people live together and they share time together, they develop very strong connection with each other, right? But the problem these days is the connection happens because they add each other on social media. They are friends on Facebook. So we can have maybe 1,000 of friends, but very few of them that we share very secure relationship with. All right. So basically, this friendship or relationship, we need to come back to the concept of giving. Very simple. If you want to develop a strong and secure relationship with someone, then one thing that we cannot deny is we need to learn to give, right? Do you have any idea what this giving is about? Maybe you can share with me what this giving can be possible for your friends that you have been sharing with them in the past 10 years or in the past 20 years. So, do you agree that giving is the foundation of a secure friendship? And if you agree, you can also share with me what can be possibly the givings that you've been sharing with your friends, okay? So, giving is the foundation. We make a relationship with others not because we want to gain something from them. Well, some people would probably want to get some benefits from some their friends or something like that. But in this case, we have two kinds of friends, okay? We have two kinds of friends, true friend and the other one, according to the Buddha, is false friend. False friends, okay? So we have true friends and false friends. Basically, these can be easily explained using the concept of giving. That true friends always the one who share with others, while false friends are usually the one that take from others or take from their friends. So, whenever you are closer to someone and that someone always share with you something, then you might potentially found your true friends. Of course, with good intention. It's not like, okay, I give you something and then I want something back from you. That's also not true friends. But those who always takes advantages of you, those who always forget about sharing but always think about taking, that is what the Buddha categorized as false friends. It means that in order to develop a sustainable friendships, one should consider first if we should establish our relationship with true friends or false friends. Okay, and this is very important because you're going to sacrifice your time, and you're not going to have more time, right? You're going to have only 24 hours a day, which you will have to use for your work, for yourself, for your health, for your physical and mental well-being, and you're going to need to spend time with friends as well. As a result, shouldn't we consider spending our time or investing our time on true friends and not false friends? Do you agree with me? Or do you think that the more, the merrier? What do you think? So let me hear from your opinion, okay? If any of you have any ideas or any suggestions about this true friends, false friends, or we shouldn't care. We should spend as much time with any kinds of friends. You can also share your opinion with me so that we can discuss whether how we're going to spend our time, because eventually you're not going to have more than 24 hours a day, right? So if you draw a line, this is a line of 24 hours as the length. Of course, you will almost spend more than 1/3 of your time, and this is only for yourself. This is only for yourself. Why? Because you're going to sleep, right? That's 1/3 of the time. And then you're going to spend another 1/3 of your time for your job. And you can't actually live without working, without doing something for your living or for your families as well. So that's another 1/3. And another 1/3 is something that you can do for yourself, including relationship with others, which you cannot avoid. You may say that, okay, I spend this 2/3 of my time on working and sleeping. Why should I spend the rest on others? Well, this time is very important because it's going to help us remember, and also every time you are able to do something good with yourself and they appreciate your help and you feel that what you're doing is good for the society and for the world, that is the time that will stay in your heart. The time that will stay in your heart is the time that you will not forget. And whenever you have accumulated these moments a lot in your life, eventually you will feel that over the past 10 years, over the past 20 years, you have lived a very, very meaningful life. And this meaningful life eventually is going to maintain and help you develop sustainable happiness. Okay? So, think about yourself. Over the past 10 years, what is considered your meaningful moments? What is considered meaningful for you over the past 10 years? I'm pretty sure that many of your answers will be related of the moments or the time when you did something great for not only yourself but for others as well, right? As a result, we have to invest many hours of our life with our friends, with people around us. And again, this investment is not about taking anything from them, but sharing them something. This is based on giving. This is very strange investment, but even these days, there are a lot of business models talking about the concept of giving. In order for you to be able to receive and obtain things from others constantly or continuously, sustainably, then you need to give first. So these days, many firms, many organizations, many companies consider share with their employees and make them happy more than before. So the concept of giving is very important. You are going to invest, but this investment is based on giving, all right? Okay. And think about when you were young. We talked already about the concept of true friends and perhaps false friends, right? The concept of true friends and false friends really exists in your life when you were young. Think about your parents. Your parents probably chose your childhood for you, right? And even when you were young, you didn't actually have chances of choosing friends on your own, perhaps. Maybe it was your parents who chose your friends for you, and they would try to block friends that they didn't think would be good for their kids to associate with you and surrounding you during your childhood, right? Maybe even when you were about to enter your primary school, your parents were choosing schools for you. That happened for me, for example. In my case, my parents even determined my kindergarten school when I was in my mother's womb. So that school was pretty good. But in order to get your kid listed for the school, then you have to make reservation before the delivery of the kids. So that was not very easy, but I got into that school, and the school was very, very nice with kids and parents and families, and I think I had pretty nice development when I was young over there. What about you? Did your parents chose the best school for you, or did they try to make sure that people surrounding you when you were young were nice, were kind, were noble? So what is your childhood experiences? You can share with me, all right? And I'm reading for the comments regularly. So if you have any questions about what I'm talking about, you can also ask me, okay? And this is the first thing that we need to ensure. Surrounding ourselves with true friends is a blessing. According to the Buddha, the first blessing is trying to stay away from false friends. He even used the word the fools, but these can also be false friends as well. Friends that are trying to take advantages from you. And not only that you stay away from false friends, but you try to get closer to true friends. And the true friends that we are talking about will not only give you good time, but they will become your role models. As I mentioned, we all have our role models in our life. So during different time of our life, we are looking up on someone, right? I think when you were young, you have several heroes that you wanted to be, like maybe Superman or Batman or Spider-Man, because we wanted to fight with evils. But when we are adults, when we are grown-ups, who are your role models? Or you don't have anyone in your mind. But basically, we are looking the whole time. And these days, we are looking at what? We are looking on YouTube, we are looking on Facebook videos, and we are searching for any inspirational stories so that we can click like and share with our friends. This is a little evidence that we all need to have inspiration. And this inspiration will help us when we feel down, when we're in trouble. So, as we know at this moment that surrounding ourselves with true friends is going to first make us feel happy, because true friends, again, everyone keeps sharing. It's not that only one in this story is the one who shares, but being true friends to each other, everyone will keep sharing. And if you compare this to a sport, maybe football, because we just finished World Cup competition. What if you play in a team that there's only one star who tries to do everything on his or her own without passing the ball to some other players? He or she was just, okay, give me the ball, I'm going to score, give me the ball. That is not very fun to be with, right, to play with. But what if the team, okay, football, soccer, basketball, everyone keeps cheering, keep passing the balls. So whoever gets the best chance to score will score the goal for the goal, will shoot the ball to get the goal. That is even more fun to play with. So If you can associate yourself or surround yourself with true friends and everyone keeps sharing, that will create a lot of positive energy, right? So true friends, first, they bring us happiness, and second, not only happiness that we will get from surrounding ourselves with true friends, we can also have role models, because you're going to become who you surround yourself with. That is going to be a model of your behaviors. Suppose that you, in your group, among your friends, everyone keeps talking about watching movies. Every time you meet each other, okay, everybody talks about movies. Okay, I've seen this movie. What about the next one? When is this movie is going to be in the theater? If everyone talks about the movies, you will eventually have an urge to watch some movies as well, because that is how your mind got affected. Our mind got affected from what we think, what we speak, and what we do. And these we consume by our five senses. The more your eyes are looking at, the more your ears are listening to, the more your tongue is tasting, the more your nose is smelling, the more your skin is touching, the more you are accustomed to. So we can't deny the fact that we are going to inherit or maybe even copy behaviors from our friends to ourselves. Maybe you can also notice about the real need to have two friends surrounding us and not false friends, right? Do you have any questions? Okay, let me check about the comments from the live. If you have any questions, you can ask about, you want to know what characters do we need to have from true friends, or what do we need to do in order to make a long-lasting relationship, right? So suppose that this is you and this is your friend. Okay, this is you and this is your friend. So we need to make sure that this friend is a true friend. And we also need to make sure that the connection between you and your friend is properly maintained. And this is what we are going to talk about today. How can we make sure that this connection is going to be maintained? Maybe you want to be friends with someone, but that person is making more distance or walking away from you. That could also be a case, right? You know that, okay, this is a true friend, but why every day he or she spend less time with you? He or she doesn't stay with you. Perhaps you might not be considered as true friend on his or her perspective, right? So the first thing we need to consider is, are we a true friend in our friend's eyes? Because maybe you know that, okay, this guy is very good, very nice, and if you associate yourself with this guy, your life is going to be happy. So you want to stay closer to this guy, but maybe this guy doesn't think the way you think. Or maybe this guy doesn't consider you as a true friend. So we need to also look back at ourselves, that we are really a true friend from our friend's eyes. and not a false friends. And in order to maintain this relationship, I'm going to share about what do we need to give, because again, we talked about earlier that this concept of maintaining relationship is about giving. The first thing, giving resources. Whenever you meet your friends, have you considered sharing anything to him or her? Lately, have you shared anything to your friends lately? If yes, what was it? Maybe some cookies, maybe some food, some fruits, something nice. This is something that eventually maintain friendships. This is the first thing to consider. The more you give, the more you will be loved. And there is one phrase, even the Buddha mentioned, that a giver shall be beloved. A giver shall be beloved. Think about your workplace. If your workplace has someone that always shares maybe cookies, maybe fruits, maybe even smile to the colleagues, wouldn't you feel positive every time you meet that person? Sharing or giving comes from a positive mind, a positive mindset, that not only a person wants to be happy, but the person also wants his or her friends to be happy as well. So, giving resources is something that you consider about when you want to maintain relationship with anyone. Okay, giving regularly, giving to your neighbors, giving to your colleagues, giving to your family, not only giving to yourself, but of course you need to give to yourself as well, so that you don't give 100% of things that you have to others, right? So not only that you share, that you give to yourself, but you also give to your friends. What is it that you gave to your friends in the past few months? Do you have any examples? If you have any examples of things that you share with your friends, you can also type the comments, okay, so that I know. Maybe different countries, from different culture, we give different things. In Thailand, in my country, for example, we give like snacks, we give our time, we give different opportunities. Even greeting is also very important. Don't underestimate the power of greeting. If you greet someone first, if you smile at that person, or in Thailand we do something like this called why, you already break the ice or something that that person might try to assume who you are in their mind. You know, our life is based on what we interact with others, and that will lead to an image that one person will think about us. Suppose that we keep sharing a lot, there will be an image in the mind of another person. Okay, Mr. A, you you're sharing a lot. This will be stored in his or her mind, and this is how a person will remember us. This is not very easy because people's mind can be more sensitive to either positivity and negativity in different ways. But we want them to remember us in a positive way, right? If we want them to remember us in a positive way, we should also fill their memory with something positive and giving. A giver shall be beloved. This is true, no matter what era you are in. And these days, of course, on social media, on Facebook, you're going to feel good if there is a person who always click like on your post, no matter whatever post you just did, right? No matter if you just post something silly or you just post something useful, you just post your achievement, something that you're proud about, and that person always come and click like on your post and maybe even share your post, give some positive comments. This is how we really remember others based on what they give to us. And second, giving endearing speech. Second, giving endearing speech. Well, as I mentioned earlier, that we human beings cannot read each other's mind. And whenever you meet someone, there might be little voice in your head telling you that maybe that person is going to think about you this way, maybe this person is still getting angry at you, maybe this person still feels good or feels negative about you. That little voice is in everyone's head. So, if you never talk to your friends for many weeks, for many months, for many years, that leaves him or her or them to assume who you are at the moment. They're going to make some assumption. Hey, that guy didn't talk to me. That guy have not spoken with me for 6 weeks already. And that leaves a wide imagination. Whether you get angry with him or her, or maybe because you were too busy, maybe your friendship is not good anymore. So, don't leave your friend develop that fantasy. Don't leave your friend assume who you are. If you love someone, and if you never talk about it, if you never share that you love that person, then how that person will know that you love him or her, right? Then you may ask me then, how often do you have to say this? My answer is, well, moderately. Of course, if you say too much, if you keep saying every hour, that is going to look a little bit fake, maybe. But if you say moderately, and maybe even if I can use the word regularly, not too much, but not too little, this is going to help you remind your friend that you still have love for him or her. Don't leave your friends assume how much you leave him or her, okay? Say it. You need to say something anyway, but instead of saying something not nice, say something nice. Endearing words can be any constructive comments, any motivation, something inspirational, or some kind words that is going to make the person develop positive energy every time he or she hears your words. Every time someone hears your words and he or she feels good about them, about what you say, the pictures of you in their mind will be associated with positive energy. And they're going to remember you. They're going to keep being secure that you still love him or her. Okay, so if you want to maintain a long, sustainable quality relationship with someone, first, sharing them resources, and second, as much as you can and not too much as well, say to him or her how good you feel about the relationship. Okay, how good you feel about having him or her around. Anything endearing, anything nice shall be beloved. Okay. All right, so we have a question from Sungung, and Sungung is from Gambia. How to handle friends with double standard? Well, a friend with a double standard is not considered true friends in this sense from the beginning, because maybe when a friend wants to take advantages from us, he or she will behave something very nicely, because this is the nature of human beings. Okay, we want something from someone, so we have to make sure that the person is in the state of wanting to share something with us. So that friend might behave in a positive way, but when you're not useful anymore, then he or she will act differently and will possibly become someone that totally different. So in this case, he or she is not a true friend. So what if you can stay away from these false friends? Would it be nicer? Of course, if you still have to hang around with them, first, be mindful. Okay, so be mindful and understand that you should not devote, or you should not give it everything you have, everything you are to that friend, and try to associate more with true friends. So that will be the best advice, because you never know if you're being treated with a positive standard or negative standard. How would you know about that, right? So it doesn't mean that you should be also a double standard friend with that friend as well. I would say that instead of trying to be aware, okay, what kind of standard you're being treated, why don't you have only one single standard with true friends? Would it be nicer so that you actually have to lie to yourself and you can be honest with your true friends? Okay. And the third one, okay, third one is giving help. It's very simple. Giving help. Giving help. There is one old phrase from the Buddha that whenever you are in troubles, whenever you wanted to have help from someone, and there is someone next to you, even though the situation could be very bad, even though everything seems to be negative, but one positive thing that you can possibly feel blessed is you have found two friends. So whenever you're in trouble and someone is right there with you, okay, you might feel very bad about it, but at least something that you can feel good with the situation is those who are with you are your true friends. Recently, there is a story of 13 Thai boys who were trapped in a cave, right? You remember? I think this is like a global sensational story that everyone knows about. They stick together. They didn't leave each other. Maybe some of them, or maybe even the coach, could survive leaving someone behind, but they didn't do that. They actually committed to the fact that they stay alive together and they die together. So even though they had to stay with hunger for 9 days, but they have found their true friends. And these true friends, of course, whenever your friends need to have something, whenever your friends are in troubles and you help them, you're going to reserve a very special corner in their hearts, and that special corner is going to make you being remembered forever. It is very important to always give help and support to those who need them. Whenever your friends need some help, sometimes you help even more than they ask for. This is going to make you a very special person, and your relationship will be strengthened. Your relationship will be improved. Okay, so that's number 3. And the number 4, giving security. And consistency. Number 4 is giving security and consistency. It means that we all want to have security in our relationship, even though this might be just a friendship, right? We want to know if we will never be betrayed or we will never be treated in a negative way. So this requires consistency from relationship. It's not like some days you feel very, very, very good, and then you act to your friends like an angel, and the other day you feel very, 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 very bad, and then you act like a monster. With that, your friends will not know how to interact with you or how to handle you. Suppose that you maybe you are always very nice on Monday, but you might be very, very negative on Thursday. Then maybe your friends will know, okay, Thursday, here comes Thursday, and this guy is going to get mad on Thursday. Or maybe at the beginning of each month, when you have a lot of work, then you seem to be very depressed and negative and even sometimes violent. Then your friends know. But this is unpredictable, because even our challenges that we face are not consistent. And this is the nature of the world. Things are not consistent. Happiness, unhappiness, sadness, suffering, they come in a very inconsistent way. So when everything is not very consistent, how can we make sure that our friends will understand us in a consistent way? Not easy, but the better you can do, the longer and more secure your relationship will become. Okay? Even if you have a hard day, but when you look at your friends, you can still smile. Would it be nice to have a friend like that? Think about yourself. Okay, you have a hard day. Everyone has a hard day sometimes. And if everyone has a hard day, but there is someone in your group that can smile to everyone, that can give support and to be a very good role model how to deal with challenges. Wow, that person is going to be like an angel in your group, right? That's because everyone needs this consistent. And whatever relationship that you develop with your friends, you need to consider as well how to make consistent, constant, continuously giving to your friends. Okay? So, with these four giving, again, those who give shall be loved. Eventually, you will be able to maintain true and sustainable relationship with someone. Do you have any questions about this? If you have any scenarios that might be challenging for you, you can also ask. Okay, so what about we have also audience in the studio? Do you have any questions about friendships?
Like, for example, how do you deal when people are moody, like just because like you're okay, but like it's kind of pulling that negativity towards you just because? Like, should we avoid that person or be there and giving support, or like how to deal with these moods?
Yeah, okay, so the question is, how do we deal with a moody person? Well, we have to understand the fact that people can get moody sometimes. People can get moody because they face challenges. But people who are always moody is, well, it's going to drain our energy, right? If someone is always moody the whole time, whatever we do, or maybe whatever that person will face. So first thing that you can do, and the best thing is to understand that this person is always moody. And you have to try your best to catch something good from that person. Is that person still possessing something good? Does that person always get moody? But what is the good thing about that person? So if you are able to pay attention to the positive things, instead of focusing yourself on the moody part of that person, then your friendship can also be maintained. And you're going to at least trigger positive part in that person's heart so that he or she will also receive some positive energies as well. But what if a person can get moody randomly? Maybe because of work, maybe that's because of challenges the person is facing. In that case, instead of paying attention to the moody part, you pay attention to the fact, to the reality, to the challenges that person is facing. And if you can help that person to solve the problems, then you are giving your help to the person. And you are able to take that person back from maybe the problems that he or she is facing and make he or she happy again. This is a very, very good thing for true friends to do. So if you are able to provide support to a person who are facing any challenges, any troubles, and he or she may get moody, and he or she is not like that before, that is how you actually give help and support, and you'll be remember, you will be honored, you'll be cherished for the help that you share with the person. But of course, if someone close to you is always moody, then, well, that is not a very healthy thing to be with, right? So in that case, try to pay more attention to some positive things that a person will have. And also, whenever someone direct negative energy on you, but you are able to provide positive responses, that positive response is going to slowly trigger the positive part in that person's heart. So that person will have at least some positivity in the mind, but maybe because they haven't cleaned the mind properly, so the negative part is taking over, but you are helping that person to remove the monster from the mind. Okay, so if any of you have any questions, so this is a chance to ask. And if you have any suggestions on the next topic that we should cover, you can also suggest. And the next week, we're going to do a topic about how meditation will be related to creativity. So stay tuned. It's going to be on Saturday's evening. Okay. Any other questions? Again, I'm going to make a wrap up of today's life. So first thing is, we need to understand that we can't avoid relationship with people around us. We human beings these days, even though the real life relationship is getting less importance, and people pay more attention to the social media, having more friends. Some of us even have 5,000 friends. Some of us even, that is, I think that used to be a limit of Facebook, but I'm not sure if it's still the limit of 5,000 friends. But why do we still feel that? No matter how many friends we have, we are not fulfilled. We still do not feel very happy about the situation. So if there is a chance of having more friends and we feel happy, maybe we didn't hesitate grabbing that. But the true meaning of this is not about how many friends you have. It's not about how many Facebook friends you have, but it's about the true friends that you have in your life. And there are two kinds of friends, true friends and false friends. When I say false, it doesn't mean that that person is always bad, because a false friend to us doesn't mean that that person is going to be a false friend to someone else. But maybe the chemistry doesn't match, and for us, they are not our true friends, right? It doesn't mean that, okay, someone is going to have a label on the head that he or she is going to be false friends to everyone. Maybe there's such a person, I don't know. But the most important is we associate ourselves and surround ourselves with true friends. And this is what we've been doing. This is what even our parents were doing for us when we were young. Remember, the parents always chose friends for us, and they tried to block away friends that they didn't see would be very nice for their kids. Or even schools, your parents would try their best in order to get you into a very noble and very good school, right? Even in my case, my parents reserved a space for me even when I was still in my mother's womb, few months before delivery, so that there is a guarantee I can get a space in that kindergarten. And when we grow up, when we have to choose friends by ourselves, maybe some of us will say to our parents, don't mess up in my life, don't interfere with who I'm going to associate myself with. But we still do not know what criteria that make true friends or false friends. This is a very big topic, and people do not pay much attention to. Well, I have a separated content for this. Maybe the next 2 weeks, we're going to talk about that, characters of true friends and characters of false friends. But to make it easy, we can distinguish between true friends and false friends just by true friends always share and false when always takes. So first, associate yourself with true friends. But even you know, okay, these friends always give, and you try to associate yourself with him or her, but relationship is not always getting good. Maybe you have some close friends during your high school years, but you're not their friends anymore. Maybe you see their friends, but relationship is not the same as ever before. Or maybe you were very close to some friends during your university years, but this time they're not very close to you anymore. Maybe everyone has something to do. So the secret lies with four givings. The first giving is giving resources. The givers shall be loved. And this is true because if you really want people to remember you, what do you want them to remember you for? Maybe sometimes they remember you because you help them, and that's this giving help. Or maybe they remember you because every time they get close to you, you always have very nice encouragement to the person. That is when giving endearing speech plays a very important role. But the most important is you just give something very simple like fruits or snacks or maybe a cup of coffee, or maybe you treat them sometimes. And whenever you start treating people, for example, you treat them with night food, you invite them over to your house regularly, and you ask something from that person, maybe because you need to have that something, they will hardly refuse what you ask for, because this is the power of giving. Whenever you give someone something, that will trigger a part in the receiver's heart that they might want to give something back to you as well. Maybe they're waiting for the chance, but when they got the chance, or maybe when you ask for, they will not refuse what you ask from them. Okay, so giving resources. The second, giving endearing speech. So don't let your friends assume how relationship is going on at the moment. So because we human beings, we cannot read each other's mind. We need to assume, right? And it is not very good if maybe last time that you talked to each other were like a few months ago, and after a few months later you didn't talk at all to each other. That leaves your friends to assume how relationship has become at this particular moment. So if you love someone, don't wait for that person to make a guess or to assume on their own, but say to your friends. But this is not about saying, okay, I love you, I love you, I love you. Something too much is also not good, so something moderately. Then you can even remind or give some constructive comments, or maybe talk about something nice using some endearing words. Every verbal messages does not only convey the content but your feelings. And this is how positive feelings that is associated with your name, with your face, will be stored in someone's heart. And then giving help. Again, whenever you are in trouble and you feel very bad about it, one thing that you can feel blessed about is when someone is besides you. So whenever you are in trouble and someone's always on your side, then you can tell yourself that this is a true friend. So if you feel blessed about that, then your friends will feel good about you, not leaving them when they are in troubles as well. So when they are in trouble and you give them help, you will be remembered for a long time. Okay? And giving security and consistency. It means that our life, our relationship, we also seek for consistency. And the more we can behave in a consistent way, the better the person doesn't have to deal with us, because if on Monday you are consistent, on Thursday you can be a monster. Well, this is pretty consistent, right? But that's not the best. But if your days are really unpredictable, on some Monday you were good, the other Mondays you were a monster, then that person will have to, okay, how do you actually have to behave, or how do you actually have to handle that person, this person? So maybe they consider walking away from you because they don't want to spend too much effort on dealing with you, right? So instead of putting a little more burden of friends how to handle with us, we behave ourselves in a consistent way. Sometimes we feel frustrated, but instead of giving our friends a bomb, you can think about it. If I give this bomb to my friend, will that worsen the relationship? Will that improve relationship? Maybe not at all. So I should not give the bomb to the friend, and maybe I just hold it to myself, let go, and consider behaving consistently like before. That is going to be very helpful a lot, how to maintain a quality and sustainable relationship with someone. And this is the secret of forgiving that I share with you today. Again, giving resources, giving endearing speech, giving help, and giving security. And that's it for today. If you have any questions, you can also type in the box. If you feel that this video is useful for your friends, for your family, for people that you care about, please share with them. You can share to their profile, you can share your own profile, you can click like on our group and on our page as well. If you have any suggestions on the topics of the next weeks, please share with us, and we're going to choose the topic to talk about, to cover next week. Okay, so have a good weekend, and I'm Mang John, and this is my stories, and we have a lot of good contents about self-development, about the philosophy based on the Buddhism and Buddhist lifestyle. Okay, so I hope to see you again, and until then, goodbye.